We could be at this all fucking day if we ran through what Danny leaves online. Now, I want you to think about this. I want you to give it some serious consideration because things are upside down and backwards. Here, I'll play the video first. This is Question Antiquity. You know, the Danny guy again.
So now we learn from the Bible why your map is upside down. Hello out there. In this video, I will be showing you that the east and west that we know of today is different from the east and west in the Bible. Now, this is the first incident in the book of Enoch where I almost gave up on trying to figure it out. I actually put this down because I could not understand it, but the Most High has encouraged me to pick it back up, and he gave me the understanding by opening up a candle of understanding in my heart.
Aww.
And now I will be sharing this with you, and it's coming from the book of Enoch. It says, and at the ends of the earth, I saw 12 portals open to all the quarters of the heavens. These are the four right here. 1 quarter, 2 quarter, 3 quarter, 4 quarter. These are the 4 quarters of the earth. All right? And it said 3 of them are open on the face, which is the east. All right? This is the face. This is it saith this is a head. This is the dome. It is looking at you. So this is the face. So, and this is the back of the head. This is the hair on this side. This is the hair on that side. Let's just use that as an example. So we have the east. This is the face. All right? It says...
Let's go back real fast. Well, if it works.
It is looking at you.
If you look at this... if you look at this... Orient this to where you are if you're in the northern hemisphere. You got east and west. That checks out. So where his finger's at, the sun's going to rise. It's going to perform an arc, which means it's going to drive itself towards that left, towards the left on this thing, and it's going to, I'm saying this poorly, it's going to run towards where he has north, which is wrong. That should be south. And it's going to go around the circle to the west, and then it's going to disappear. Where it disappears and where he has south is where north should be. So whoever this is already fucked up the fucking outline because they didn't think about it before they fucking scribbled this out and recorded a video.
So this is the face. So, and this is the back of the head. This is the hair on this side. This is the hair on that side. Let's just use that as an example. So we have the east. This is the face. All right? It says 3 of them are open on the face, that's the east of the heavens, and 3 are in the west. All right, 3 in the west, and 3 on the right, which is the south. See, we have 3 on the right, all right, of heaven, and 3 on the left, which is the north. That's the left. That's the north. Now already, when we look at this map.
So do me a favor. Face the face and put the back of your head to west. Are you picking up what I'm putting down?
For this chart, we see something strange going on here.
How many cultures worship the east? What do? Do they put their backside to the east when they worship? Jesus fucking Christ. Come on, you guys. People haven't fucking figured this shit out. They can't figure out this much. And it's painful.
So we turn it like this, and we have the east on this side, which we normally look at, and we have the west on this side. Notice that the south is up and the north is down.
Just remember, he already drew this the wrong way, so that's nice. Now we're overcomplicating the plot. And if you go back to the actual outline, what I already highlighted, what we experience, what reflects reality, everything you're seeing right now is wishy-washy bullshit. It's going to confuse you, probably. It's unnecessary. We're getting further and further away from what we know, what we observe, what you can reason out. But here we go. Thanks, Danny.
Therefore, The east and the west is correct through here, but the north and the south is incorrect according to the way we think. But this is the Bible.
Now, with all that in mind, I've pointed out in movies that north and south, what have you, there is something up. But people haven't figured out what I'm talking about. And this sure as shit is not it. This is not it. Do some of you know what I'm talking about? Most of you probably don't. And if this is the only video you watch, go fuck yourself. If that's as far as you're willing to, take things. You are the problem. You're just looking for entertainment, looking for a handout, and or you're here to cherry pick because you're a dumb fuck. Yes, this is me being jaded. Yes, this is me coming off the fucking fill in the blank, having dealt with one too many Muppets who have talked at me with their popular reactions instead of putting in the fucking time and being part of the conversation.
So even if we turn it this way,
let's turn it some more
and put the north at the top like we're normally used to seeing it.
Let's not take a step back and fucking think about what was written, think about what was said, think about what we observe. Once again, I keep wanting to turn my phone so you guys can see what I'm doing and the way I see it. Again, here, just, I don't know. I can talk at the phone, and I don't know if you guys get what I'm saying. You see where east and west is at? Face the east. When you face the east, to your right, you would have south, as he rattled off based on the Book of Enoch. To the left, you would have the north, based on what he said relating to the Book of Enoch. Which is what we observe. That's what's what. Those are the cardinal directions. He's fucked up south and north, so all of this is terribly confusing, and he keeps turning the fucking diagram.
And the south at the bottom, we have the west on the east side, and we have the east on the west side. So where are we going with this? Well,
nowhere, apparently.
All of those videos online when they show the eclipse coming from the west, we see it coming from this way, or same thing here this way. It is actually coming from the east, because the map has the north at the top and the south has at the bottom, and this is biblical. So the eclipse is actually coming from the east, and we think that it is coming from the west, but it is actually coming from the east. So it is coming from this way, which is the east, and it's going this way, and as you can see, America's right here. So we see this eclipse coming from this way, and it's coming from east to west.
Are you enjoying this?
I'm going to leave that at that. God bless you.
Now, when you look at the continents, too, there's a certain shape to them. Does that shake out? Does that seem intuitive? I mean, does it look correct? The shape of these things. Usually you got a teeny little... Well, just think about how bodies are built. There might be a spurious correlation for most. But you could think of us having legs, and then you have the body. And when you look at most of these, that's what you do see. Again, take that with a grain of salt. Yeah, add a blush and all that other stuff. If you guys listen to me fucking rant, thanks for listening to me rant. As always, what the fuck do I know? I can teach you things you're not supposed to know. And I'm human, so you never know. Maybe I'll get something wrong as well. I'm sure I got other stuff wrong here and there. But I'm sitting on more answers than the other kids. I guarantee it. I'm looking for people to teach some of these esoteric secrets to. But it's not going well. I need to know that people can reason things out on their own instead of being swept away by the endless sea of bullshit on the internet, which is why you and I have these numerous forms of communication to promote the propaganda. That doesn't come up because people don't research, so they don't know what our masters openly stated in terms of this. Some of you guys might have heard me say that. As for the other kids out there, if you see this, the ones I was barking at, you could watch the other fucking videos. I've talked about that a lot. Here's what Danny copy and pasted, most likely. Feel free to take a screenshot because I'm not going to read this one to you. I won't read you every single thing like this when I do this. Let's see what this says. So you got a guy that said, and he used a social engineering sticker, so you can't click the heart on there, because this guy's a moron, too. I wouldn't trust this guy to buy me a Happy Meal. Who do you trust to buy poison for you anyway? You can't trust somebody who would buy you poison. The statement doesn't make any fucking sense. Back to point. Another guy said, according to the majority of the beings on, and he capitalized Earth because he doesn't realize it's an element. It's not a planet. He's reaffirming the narrative that he's bashing, by the way. Already believe the world they live on is upside down because they believe that there with a THEIR, maybe who's talking at his phone and Google fucked him, who knows, are people underneath their feet who live upside down. They don't believe in a firmament because that's all he's got. He's got the firmament to talk about. He doesn't understand that the flat earth and the globe theory are both misdirection. They are both fucking flat out lies, and people haven't figured this out. They believe in space. Space does exist, just not the adult fairy tale that most people believe in, which is what he believes in as well, based on what he just said. Because space is a bad pun, motherfucker. And you don't hear that come up. I'm sure some bag of meat, some dumb bag of meat, will see a video that I left online someday. And they'll take that, they'll cherry pick, and they'll start telling people what I said. And then they'll start corrupting it. They'll start saying that it's all about the flat earth and the space of the flat earth or some stupid fucking shit. Because people are dumb, lazy, etc., etc. Mean words. Lots of mean, belittling words coming out of my mouth because I'm surrounded by fucking morons. But it's true. It's quite true. Yeah, you guys have heard my disclaimer statements. You guys have heard me try to build some of the dumb fucking morons up so that they pull their heads out of their ass and they change this fact. Because it's a temporary system, which means you could choose your adventure, man. Here's a cute story on that note. So, and I probably shouldn't tell you all the other neat stuff that I was up to in order to paint this picture. But I was talking to a stranger who worked in a store because I was trying to figure something out related to something that I would like to tell you guys about, but I'm not going to online because fuck you. Yeah. So she started telling me that she did some, sociology and shit like that. Unfortunately, that's what I thought was a good idea initially. I did a lot of psych and socio, this, that, and the other thing, and things like that back in college, which turned out just to be a fucking waste of goddamn time and money. I should have pulled my head out of my ass back then, but I didn't. Either way. So she did get up to a pretty neat project, and it had to do with cults. Somehow we started talking about cults and drinking the fucking Kool-Aid. She brought up Jonestown, which has to do with the Kool-Aid incident. And she brought up Heaven's Gate, having to do with D.O.E., Doe. I think that was his name, the leader of the Muppets who wore Nike tennis shoes and thought they were going to die and pop up on a fucking comment or some shit. Here, I'll tell you the part that I told her first, then I'll tell you the other bit. So you stick around. I think I was in high school at the time, and we were on some kind of road trip. And I can't remember if the Heaven's Gate stuff was in Texas. I feel like it was. Either way, something like that. Somewhere fairly close to New Mexico at the time. While we were driving, the whole point of this is we drove past the compound, the Heaven's Gate compound, and somebody called attention to it, and it happened to be the day that they were fucking offing themselves. So once we got back, we realized that we were in near proximity, crudely speaking, to all those idiots, committing suicide and trying to hop a ride, on a fucking comet. Or I think it was a comet, probably a comet. Maybe I'm wrong. If I'm wrong, okay, you guys could correct me, tell me. The Gals project having to do with, I think it was college too, was very neat. She created a choose your own adventure book, and she wrote it for intelligent people. This is how she explained it all, at least. She gave me more details, which most of those are lost in the ether, and I don't recall it all. But she made it pretty complex. It was probably, I think, 250, maybe a little under 300 pages. And you would try to make logical decisions, and you would still end up joining the fucking cult. And I thought that was a pretty cool project. I'd never thought about that, never heard anybody else talk about that. And in all the sociological fucking bullshit and psychological babble that I heard about, no one else ever mentioned a project like that. I thought it was pretty original, unless she took it from somebody else, but I had never heard of it. It was pretty neat. Either way, those are my stories. What the fuck do I know? You can fuck off now.